syllabus and just felt totally overwhelmed by the sheer volume of material you're supposed to memorize, trust me, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're dissecting a highly specific, data-backed framework called the block strategy. This methodology is explicitly designed to help you secure a minimum of 80+ marks in notoriously tough competitive physics exams like Neet and JEE mains. And it does this by completely flipping the traditional script on how you study. We're going to look at the exact chapters you need to focus on and the hard data proving why this actually works.
Our source material establishes a core philosophy right out of the gate. Smart planning defeats random hard work. Because let's be real, relying purely on sheer, brute force effort is actually a massive trap when you're facing a syllabus of this size. Effort without direction just leads to burnout, and as you'll see, the data heavily backs this up.
So we need a complete paradigm shift here. Let's compare the two approaches. First, you have the old way, reading the huge syllabus blindly, page by page. Honestly, that just naturally leads to maximum stress and really inefficient retention. But then we have what the source data advocates for, the smart way. This means intentionally targeting high-weightage topics combined with easy-scoring chapters. The goal here is simple: maximize your actual exam results while keeping your stress levels to an absolute minimum. It sounds almost too good to be true, right? Well, just wait till you see the numbers.
Here is our quick blueprint for today. We'll compare smart work versus hard work, unpack the actual block strategy, analyze where exam questions are really coming from, and then go over the essential physics toolkit.
All right, Section 1, smart work versus hard work, and that ultimate goal of hitting 80+ marks.
So, the specific strategy we are analyzing is championed by DJR Physicser. His core claim is that by pivoting away from random, unguided studying and instead focusing your energy on a highly curated syllabus, an 80+ score isn't just possible, it's highly achievable. He explicitly taught this approach to his students prior to recent exams, and the documented outcome of that prediction is what makes this whole thing so fascinating.
Moving on to Section 2, unpacking the block strategy. Let's reveal the blueprint.
Okay, let's dive right into Block I. This block contains just 4 foundational chapters: units and dimensions, wave optics, semiconductors, and EM waves. Now, going into the exam, the initial prediction was that exactly 7 questions would pop up from this precise group of chapters.
But here is where theory meets reality. Validated by the original source notes, this strategy totally overperformed. In the Neet 2026 exam, instead of the predicted 7 questions, this highly focused Block I actually delivered 9 questions. Think about that. Just by mastering 4 very accessible chapters, a huge chunk of the exam was already covered.
Next up, we have Block 2. Here we're looking at 7 slightly more advanced chapters. We've got dual nature of matter and radiation, atom, nuclei, solids, fluids, oscillations, and wave motion. Based on historical data and syllabus weightage, the prediction was that this block would yield 8 questions on the exam.
And once again, the real-world results completely blew past the expectations. Block 2 yielded a very solid 11 questions on the actual test, comfortably beating that prediction of 8. So if you are keeping track, the efficiency of studying just these specific chapters is already paying massive dividends.
Finally, we hit the heavy hitters, Block 3. This targets 5 major electrical and magnetic chapters. We're talking electrostatics, current electricity, moving charges and magnetism, induction and alternating current, or AC. Because these topics are known to be pretty dense, this block carried a hefty initial prediction of 10 exam questions.
But check out the incredible outcome revealed in the final documentation. 13 questions actually appeared from this specific group in Block 3. That means Block 3 contributed to a massive overall weightage for the entire test.
So, the absolute most crucial takeaway here is this final number, 33. The initial expectation was around 25 questions from all these blocks combined, but a staggering 33 questions ultimately came straight from these specific, curated chapters in the real Neet physics paper. 33! That translates to an enormous advantage, and it absolutely proves that zeroing in on high-yield areas is vastly superior to blind reading.
All right, Section 3, analyzing exam question sources and finding the hidden patterns.
So, exactly where are these questions coming from? A meta-analysis of the Neet 2026 physics paper gives us a pretty shocking breakdown. Out of the questions analyzed, 14 were based on standard NCERT material, and 5 followed standard Neet previous year question, or PYQ, patterns. But here's the wild part.
An astounding 24 questions were styled after JEE main PYQs.
This handwritten origin analysis is a total aha moment. It proves that if you're only studying traditional Neet questions, you are literally missing the biggest piece of the puzzle. The data clearly shows that if you nail your NCERT foundations and heavily combine them with JEE main PYQ styles under the right guidance, the actual exam format becomes highly predictable. Hitting that 80+ mark is absolutely within reach when you understand this hidden pattern.
Moving on to our final section, the essential physics toolkit and the recommended resources to make this happen. To actually execute this strategy, the author explicitly notes that for the last few years, more than 25 questions consistently appear from his 3 specific books. It starts with the DJR Physics Capsule and the Class 11 Handbook of Short Notes. Now, these aren't just random run-of-the-mill textbooks. They are specifically mapped directly to NCRT, and those exact PYQ formulas we just proved are dominating the exams.
Rounding out the required toolkit are these Class 12 and additional Class 6 short notes. By utilizing concise handbooks that isolate the formulas and shortcuts for those specific Block I, 2, and 3 chapters, you make sure you're covering the highest yield syllabus with maximum efficiency. Guys, this is the literal definition of studying what gives you maximum marks with minimum stress.
The data from the source material is crystal clear. Smart preparation completely defeats random hard work. Focusing on curated blocks and understanding exactly where the test questions originate, it's a total game changer. Which leaves us with one incredibly important question as you gear up for your next exam. Are you still going to stress yourself out studying everything blindly, or are you ready to use the data and finally study smart?